my queen, my queen. Oh, she, oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel. So strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. True meaning of every family. She's the glue. Malcolm and Obama, yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. Better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying. Back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? You bought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she is
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop R.C. Blakes. R.C. is an author, empowerment teacher, and the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Joining us for another Let's Talk with R.C. Blakes. Tonight, I am in my brother's studio. If you didn't know it, my brother is really the world-renowned Samuel R. Blakes. If you don't follow him on YouTube, you should probably do that now. Follow my brother, Bishop Samuel R. Blakes, on YouTube. I'm in his studio tonight, and thank God I have a brother whose studio I can borrow, right? Invite some others to come in, invite them to come in and to be a part of this conversation tonight. I believe that this one is going to be earth-shattering, life-changing. I believe that this one is really going to help you a lot. I'm talking tonight about how to know when you're ready to attempt loving again, or when you're ready to try to formulate a romantic or loving relationship again. You know, so many of us ask that question. I get asked that question quite a lot. How can I know, RC, pastor, bishop, whatever you may call me? How can I know if I'm ready to love again? You know, sometimes we feel almost like it's our duty to be in some kind of romantic relationship, and that's largely due to the fact that we've been conditioned to believe that if we're not in a relationship, something is wrong, and we've been made to believe that our purpose for living is to be in a relationship. And so when we're not in a relationship, we feel weird, and quite a lot of the time we try to force something that probably should not be forced. Everybody is not in an emotional, psychological, spiritual, or even physical position to even think about trying to do a relationship again. If you've just come out of a traumatic, horrific, abusive, heartbreaking, soul-wrenching experience of a relationship, you're not ready to be out here trying to force something that you're clearly not ready for. But so many of us are made to believe that it speaks poorly of us. We feel like it's a reflection on us if we are not in a relationship. And that's most unfortunate, because what it does is it puts us in a position where we are compounding our own trauma and our own pain by moving out of one bad experience, trying to create another experience to remedy the pain from the previous experience, when the reality is there are some things that must be accomplished within you that must happen before you're even a good candidate for, another relationship. So I want to talk today about how to know when, especially when a woman is ready to make another attempt at loving again. When your heart has been broken, your life has been devastated. What are some of the signs that you may look for that might say, okay, I can try this again? Well, let's look at Matthew 22, something I want to just kind of pull from here before we move into the meat of our conversation for tonight. Matthew 22, verses 37 through 39, there's a powerful principle here. There are powerful principles here that I talk about all the time, especially when it comes down to loving relationships. I believe that Jesus gave us the proper order. In Matthew 22, verses 37 through 39, it says, Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Verse 38 says, This is the first and great commandment, that you what? Love God with everything, heart, soul, mind. Verse 39 says, And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Here's the thing I want us to lift from these verses. Jesus lays out a particular order for loving. Love the Lord with all your heart. And then it basically says to us, let God teach you how to love yourself. And then the second commandment is love your neighbor as you love yourself. Here's the point. There are times and seasons in our lives that we are not in the optimal position. We're not in a healthy enough position to love others or to engage in, and I'm speaking romantically now, to engage in a romantic relationship. There are seasons in your life that you just don't have the bandwidth to love someone else. And though your friends are saying, at least not love someone in a romantic sense, though your friends in your community might be saying, oh, well, you got to get out there and what's wrong with you? And you're this age and you should be, involved in this and you should be involved in that. Though your friends are saying that, the reality is many of us have some subsurface work we need to do before we try to construct a romantic house or structure. When I say subsurface work, I mean our loving relationship with God is not proper. And as a consequence, we don't have the proper love for ourselves. You really can't develop. Now, some would disagree with this, especially if they don't subscribe to salvation, God, those kinds of things. But in my opinion, you cannot really have an adequate self-love until you have the proper God love. And it's out of your love for God that God then teaches you to love yourself. And now you are sufficiently equipped to love someone else. But if your love for God is not in order and God has not given you a proper love for yourself, you, my friend, you, my sister, are not ready to attempt loving again. That's the reason the previous situation or situations went so bad. It's because you are putting people ahead of God and yourself. And so I think when we look at Matthew 22, 37 through 39, it just really emphasizes the fact that there are things, subsurface work that needs to happen before we try to create this, love affair. I may not be as fluent and as articulate as I'd like to be, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. You see, when you have the proper love for God, and then God gives you the proper love for yourself, what happens is when you have self-love, you actualize. You self-actualize, which means what? You begin to manifest the full expression of who you are and why the Creator created you. And as you self-actualize, what happens is you are then attracted to certain kinds of people, you attract certain kinds of people, and you are attracted to certain kinds of people. Because before you get your love right, walk with God right, and before God gives you your self-love, what happens is you are attracting people, and you are attracted to people that are at low, what some might call low vibrational levels of energy. You're attracted to people based on trauma, based on neediness, based on shame, based on guilt, based on low self-esteem. But once you get your love walk with God right, and God gives you a sense of self-love, what happens is you begin to attract at higher levels of, self-actualization, self-love. And so you begin to attract different kinds of people. And the people that you are attracted to when you are not actualized or self-actualized, you won't even be attracted to those people. So there are some seasons in your life that you just don't need to even attempt to develop any kind of romantic relationship with others, because you are evolving, right? And there's no sense in trying to attach to people or allow people to attach to you, or to develop any kind of serious connection with people when you know that you are evolving, because who you are today is not who you're going to be 12 months from now. It's not who you're going to be 36 months from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So you gotta at least finish your evolution to a point that you know who you are, you know where you're going. So you now know who fits with you, who's equally yoked with you, who you're comfortable with. Watch this, not only what you're attracted to, but what you need. Because as you self-actualize and develop, you will soon discover there's a vast difference between the people you are attracted to versus the people you need. As you grow and as you evolve, you begin to look at some of your attractions, and then you measure them next to what you consciously now you know you need, and you're like, okay, wait a minute. There's a broken part of me that's attracted to that, but the healed version of me realizes that's not what I need. And so eventually your attractions catch up with your consciousness. And so there are seasons, I'm saying all of that to say, there are seasons that you just don't need to be with nobody right now. Not seriously, not romantically, not sexually. You just need to chill, and we need to just be friends, and let me continue to grow, and let me figure out who I am, where I'm going, and then I can figure out better who belongs with me, who can go with me. Right? Now they're about let's see. I know y'all said this dude is long, but I can't be nobody but myself. There's 7 things. Are you surprised? There's 7 things that I've outlined as it relates to how to know when you're ready to attempt love again. And I say this all the time. I hope you hear me. These principles apply to men as well. 90% of what I'm teaching applies to men as well. I talk to women because God told me to talk to women, and women listen to me. And 90+% of the people that are on my platforms are women. So those of you gentlemen that are here, please don't view this as me excluding you from the conversation. I'm just speaking to the direct audience that supports these platforms, okay? But these principles apply to men as well. So, but number 1, she finds, how do you know when you're ready to attempt loving again? It's when she finds solace in her own company. When she finds solace in her own company. When you no longer view your being alone as isolation, but you can see it as solitude, a time for personal development and growth. If you're not If you are not comfortable being by yourself, if you can't be by yourself, you're not healthy enough to be with anybody else. Because healthy people learn to be comfortable and at peace within themselves to themselves. I'm not by myself, I'm to myself. Now, when I make statements like that, folk always fly off the handle and get triggered. Well, you got a wife. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a spouse. Anybody that desires a spouse, I believe you should have one. But I don't think you should rush into trying to have a spouse because you think that having a person in the bed with you is going to satisfy or remedy your sense of loneliness. Because some of the most lonely people in the world got folks sleeping in the bed with them. Just because you have a physical person present does not mean that you're not going to be lonely. Some of the loneliest people in the world are married. I'll say it again. Some of the loneliest people in the world are married. It's because no person can remedy that internal emptiness. That's something that you have to come to terms with within yourself. So you know that you're ready or not ready for a new love affair when you can find or you cannot find solace in your own company. One unique sign that a woman is emotionally healthy enough to start a new relationship is when she genuinely enjoys spending time alone. It's when she has learned to embrace solitude and use it as an opportunity for self-reflection, personal growth, and self-care instead of feeling lonely or seeking distractions. She appreciates the freedom and serenity that come with being by herself. If you're not there yet, if you're just desperate for a physical body to be present to give you some sense of comfort, some temporary, fleeting sense of comfort, because it's not going to last, you're not ready. But when you can wake up and you can say, oh man, what am I doing today? And your life is really already planned out and you enjoy your company and you wake up and you say, well, I really would enjoy having someone else in my life. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to do me. I'm going to live my best life as an individual, as a healthy, whole individual. Right? If you're not there, you ain't ready for no. You're not ready for no. Chill out, calm down, do some more inner work, do some more subsurface work because you're not ready. I love what Psalm number 46 and verse 10 in the New International Version, it reads like this: be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. Relax yourself. In other words, be able to rest in a state of solitude and know that I am God. In other words, watch me do my best work in your life as you are empowered to sit still. As you get to a place where you don't feel the need to rush into situationships and to invite chaotic people into your life, just learn to be still. I like what John Gottman says. He says, learning to be alone and finding contentment within yourself is a crucial step towards emotional healing and readiness for a new relationship. I love that because it's so true. If you cannot sit still, if you cannot sit in solitude, you are not emotionally healthy enough for a new relationship. You still have personal work to do. As uncomfortable as that may seem, as much as your broken consciousness may be trying to push you into something, something new and something different, sit down. Sit down and relax yourself. You're not healthy enough. And if you continue to engage in these situationships, You're just going to do greater damage to yourself emotionally. Now, number two, how does a woman know when she's ready to attempt love again? She finds solace in her own company. Number two, she has redefined her relationship with pain. See, a lot of times women are, men as well, we are engaging in relationships based on our pain. We develop these connections based on our trauma. It's our trauma that is attracted to and attracting people into our lives. That's why we perpetuate toxic relationships. Relationships should not be toxic. They should be tonic, should be healing, not poisoning. A woman who is emotionally healthy after a broken relationship has transformed her perspective on pain. Rather than avoiding or suppressing it, she has developed a compassionate and accepting relationship with her own emotional wounds. She understands that pain is a natural part of life and growth. And she is no longer defined or controlled by past hurts. You see, whatever defines you may confine you. So if you're defined by your past hurt, you will be confined by your past hurt. But when you develop a healthy perspective on your pain, you're no longer controlled by past hurts. Instead, she uses her pain as a catalyst for personal transformation and resilience. So if you've not done the work to redefine your pain, if you're still defining yourself, and if you find yourself confined by your past hurt and your past pain, you ain't ready yet. Because all you're going to do is you're going to take that pain and you're going to transfer that trauma to somebody else that does not deserve it. You will make a good man pay for what a bad man or bad men did. Psalm number 147 in verse 3, again, the NIV, New International Version, says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. You see, if you're not at a place where your broken heart has been healed, and if your wounds have not been bound up, you ain't ready. If you've not healed, if you're still defining yourself by your pain, what you went through, if you're still looking at the world and you're still triggered by, if you're still triggered by men because of what happened in your past, you're not ready. I like what Esther Perel says. Says emotional healing involves accepting pain as a natural part of life and using it as an opportunity for personal growth and resilience. Accepting pain as a natural part of life and using it as an opportunity for personal growth and resilience. So if you have not redefined your relationship with pain, if you don't view pain as just weakness leaving the soul, if you have not redefined your relationship with pain, if you don't understand that your pain is just a platform for your promotion, you're not ready yet. Now, number three, she celebrates her own milestones. If you're not at a place where you can applaud yourself and celebrate your own wins, you, my sister, are not ready for a new relationship. Why is number 3 important? Celebrating your own milestones. It's because you're going to have to be a woman that is strong in terms of your self-esteem. If you're not strong in your self-esteem, if you're not at a place where you can build yourself up, celebrate yourself, you're not ready for a new relationship, because a new relationship means that you're vulnerable. And if you enter into a place of vulnerability without the ability to esteem yourself, it means that a person that does not have good intention can deplete you and manage you. Because if you're not self-esteemed, it means that you may be managed and manipulated by external sources, right? The Bible says he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that's broken down and without walls. So you got to be able to celebrate your own milestones. You got to be able to look at your life and say, this is great about me. That's great about me. I love this about me. Because when you have enough self-love, if you're not getting what you deserve or desire from others, it's not going to impact your constitution, because you already have enough love and celebration for yourself to sustain you and to carry you all the way through. And if other people don't recognize your greatness, the amount of self-love and self-appreciation you have puts you in a position where you can say, okay, this ain't working, good knowing you, adios, you know what I'm saying? Without feeling like you're going to be devastated because it came to an end. I mean, things come to an end between humans. But another sign of emotional health is when a woman starts celebrating her own achievements and milestones, regardless of whether they are big or small. You learn to look at your life and you learn to celebrate everything about your life, big or small. She no longer seeks external validation, nor does she rely solely on others to recognize her worth. Instead, she takes pride in her own accomplishments, acknowledges her progress, and finds joy in her individual journey. I love what Brene Brown says. She says, healthy self-esteem and self-worth are essential for celebrating personal achievements and recognizing one's own value. This woman does not enter into a relationship from a place of the relationship is going to give me value. This woman enters into a relationship from a place of I'm bringing my value to this relationship. And if you do not recognize my value, I will take my value up and bring my value on down. I'll take my ball and leave, right? But a woman can only have that perspective on a relationship when she is able to look at her life and to celebrate. See, if you struggle to celebrate your progress, your accomplishments, your wins, you're not personally healthy. You're not personally healthy. And you are not ready to engage it's too risky for you to engage in a relationship. If you're not able to look at your life, if all I can hear in my conversation with you is what's wrong with you, what's not right about you, you don't like your hips, you don't like your accent, you don't like your family, you think this is, and you never have anything good to say about you, but yet you're talking about, I want a man. Babe, you ain't ready for no man. You are too emotionally vulnerable. You need to be in a position where you are guarding your own heart, where you are the caretaker of your own self-esteem. And if you can't celebrate your own Milestones, if you can't see it and if you can't feel good about it, oh no. You don't need no relationship. You need prayer for certain. You more than likely need a good therapist or counselor. You need some time to heal. Now, let's see. Number 4. She sets healthy boundaries. How do you know if you're ready for a new relationship, a new romantic or loving relationship? She sets healthy boundaries without hesitation. She sets healthy boundaries without hesitation. When you are healthy enough for a relationship, you establish your boundaries very quickly and you enforce your boundaries immediately. Because you have enough self-love. Now let me show you what I mean by that. There are things when you are a woman of broken consciousness, there are things that you allow people to do to you because of your broken consciousness and because of your lack of boundaries, that if they dare try to do that to one of your children or to your mother or to your father or one of your siblings, you would immediately shut it down. If people tried to do to your mother what you've allowed them to do to you, you would immediately shut it down. You know what the difference is? You love your mother clearly, but your self-love is in question. And wherever there is love, there are boundaries. Like I can take, you can say what you can say what you want about me. People can talk about me all the time, but don't talk about my wife. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. My children are off limits. Don't talk about my children. You can say whatever you want about me, long as I know it's a lie. Don't talk about my children. Don't talk about my mama. Don't talk about my family. Leave. You know why? Because love creates boundaries. And whatever you love, you put boundaries around. And a boundary says, I'm not going further than this, and you can't come any closer than that. A woman who is ready for a new relationship has learned the importance of setting healthy boundaries in all areas of her life. If you're still struggling with boundaries and you got people just running through your life doing whatever they want to do, you ain't ready, babe. You ain't ready. If you still out here trying to people please and you worrying about hurting somebody's feelings, even though they're stomping on all of your principles, you're not ready. You're not ready. A woman who's ready for a new relationship has learned the importance of setting healthy boundaries in all areas of her life. She understands her own needs, values, and limits, and she is unapologetic about enforcing them. She communicates her boundaries clearly and assertively, without fear of rejection or abandonment. This demonstrates her self-respect, self-worth, and readiness for a healthy and balanced partnership. Proverbs 4:23, again, the NIV says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. If you don't have boundaries, if you're not guarding your own heart, you're not ready to open your heart to anybody else, because you have to establish and enforce your boundaries. When I travel internationally, I have to figure out what the customs are and what the laws are over there. You can't go over there to Dubai cussing folk out on the street, screaming and hollering, using all kind of profanity. You can't do that. No, 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 no. You better not go over there to the Middle East clowning like we do over here in the United States of America. You better not go to Israel carrying on like that. No, 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 no. Because you're responsible to figure out what the customs and the law, because those laws and customs are what? Their boundaries. They're not going to adjust to you. You got to adjust to them. Well, you ain't ready to invite anybody into your borders until you have established your laws and your customs, your boundaries. Doctors John and Julie Gottman again says setting and enforcing healthy boundaries is a sign of self-respect, and it creates a solid foundation for a healthy and balanced relationship. It's the boundaries that make Lisa and I work so well. I know how far to go. She knows how far to go. I'm not going to play with her. She ain't going to play with me. No, 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 no. Because neither of us, as much as we love one another, both of us know that we can live without the other because we are whole individuals. So as much as I love Lisa, it'll be hard. I have to admit that it will be hard, but I will survive. I will survive, and she will survive because we're whole and healthy individuals. And when you are a whole and healthy individual, you know what you have? You have boundaries. And if you're not at a point where you're able to establish boundaries, stop running out and trying to start relationships. This is how you end up in the bed with folk you didn't plan on sleeping with. You never had boundaries. So people just kind of, just kind of shove you into whatever position they want to put you in. And before you know it, you're compromising your own principles because you don't have established boundaries that you enforce vigorously. Now, number 5, I only have 7. Let me hurry. My time is running out. She embraces vulnerability with courage. When a woman is ready to engage in a new relationship, she embraces vulnerability with courage. While it's often said that vulnerability is crucial for building meaningful connections, a unique sign of emotional health is when a woman not only embraces vulnerability, but also has the courage to express it authentically. She is open to sharing her emotions, fears, and insecurities without allowing them to define her or dictate her actions. Her vulnerability stems from a place of strength and self-assurance rather than desperation or neediness. What does that look like? That's a woman that can sit with a man and say, okay, this 4th date, dude's intentions seem to be on point. Okay, let's go a little deeper. This is a lady that can sit and say, okay, this is what I've gone through. This is where I've been. This has been my journey. And look this man straight in the eye and feel no ways about it. She doesn't feel diminished by it. She doesn't feel shrunken by it. She doesn't feel devalued by it. She is courageously vulnerable. And she's able to look him in his eye, and if he's not enough man to handle her courageous vulnerability, she's able to recognize that and politely move him out of the way because he's not enough man for her. She doesn't feel like she got to hide her truth because the man that's for her is going to be big enough to handle her whole truth and nothing but the truth. But she's courageously vulnerable. And if you ain't there yet, if you're not there yet, this is not something you need to just go out and try to act, because you can traumatize yourself by, expressing yourself or making yourself vulnerable before you're ready for it. See, when you are really emotionally healed, you're ready for whatever the response is, be it positive or negative, because you're built up from within. Don't go out there trying to prove nothing, because if you get the wrong, if you're not there yet and you get the wrong response from a person, it can set you back. But when you're at a place where, okay, here's where I was cut. It happened however long ago. Here's the scar. You can hit it, you can touch it, you can squeeze it. Though the scar is there, the event happened, the memory is there, the wisdom was gleaned from it. It doesn't hurt me anymore. I'm courageously vulnerable. That's what that, I hope that's a good illustration. 2 Corinthians 12:9, the A part of the verse says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in weakness." You're not, when you're really ready, you're not running from your weaknesses or your vulnerabilities. You embrace them because it's through your vulnerabilities that the power of God is made evident to the world, right? Dr. Sue Johnson says vulnerability is the birthplace of intimacy. It takes courage to be vulnerable and allow true connection to flourish. And anybody that can't handle your vulnerability is not capable of being intimate. Now, you got to make certain that you're not defining intimate as sex. Intimacy and sex are two different things. Intimacy, Bishop T.D. Jakes says intimacy kind of, if you listen to the way the word sounds out, intimacy. You see, if a person is uncomfortable with looking into the naked truth of you, they lack the capacity to be intimate. If a person is incapable of allowing you to look into them, the naked truth of them, they lack the capacity for intimacy with you. But vulnerability is the birthplace of intimacy. And so if you're not at a place where you're courageously vulnerable, you can't do that yet. You just still have to heal. You'll get there, but don't try to force this, as I said earlier. Now, number 6, this woman finds joy in uplifting others. You know that you're ready for a new relationship when you find joy in uplifting others. An emotionally healthy woman who is ready for a new relationship derives genuine joy from uplifting and supporting others. She has healed from her past wounds and is no longer consumed by self-pity or bitterness. Instead, she actively seeks opportunities to be there for her loved ones, lending a listening ear, offering guidance, and showing empathy. Her capacity for compassion and kindness reflects her emotional well-being and readiness to invest in a new relationship. Now, let me touch on something real quick that's going to probably trigger a lot of you, but I want you to ponder it. If you are still saying, "I ain't helping no man," you know what that says to me every time I hear you say that? That says to me, you have not healed from the man or the men in your past that you feel like used you for your resources, for your knowledge or whatever, and did not follow through on what they impressed you they were going to be in your life. You can't say out on one side of your mouth, "I want a man," then out the other side say, "I ain't helping no man," when the Bible says, that God created Eve as a helpmeet to Adam. If you're not at a place where you can find joy in uplifting and supporting others, especially your man, you ain't ready for no relationship. Galatians 6:2 says, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." Bear one another's burdens is what the King James says. If you're not in a mindset to help and to uplift and to empower, and you're fearful that a man is just going to use you for your resources, you ain't ready for no relationship. You have not healed. You are still triggered. You are not ready for a relationship. You're just not ready. Dr. Gary Chapman says, supporting and uplifting others is a sign of emotional well-being and readiness for a healthy relationship based on mutual care and compassion. Now, of course, it goes both ways. You need a man that can help you, and you need a man that you're willing to help. One hand washes the other, right? This hand always washes that one. And that one always washes this one. One hand washes the other. But if you're in a place where you're triggered by the idea of supporting a man or helping a man for fear that he's going to use you and leave you, oh, you just got to heal some more. You ain't ready. You're not ready. All right, number 7, and I'm done. She views, I really wanted to jump on this one first, but I said, let me leave it where it lies. Number 7, she views love. How to know when a woman is ready for a new relationship or a new love affair? She views love as an expansion, not a completion. She views love as an expansion, not a completion. A woman who is emotionally healthy and ready for a new relationship has shifted her perspective on love. She understands that love is not a means of completing her or fulfilling her, but rather an opportunity for growth, connection, and shared experiences. She approaches love with a sense of curiosity, exploration, and expansion rather than relying on it to fill any voids or heal past wounds. It's not about completion, it's about expansion. It is this mindset that demonstrates her emotional maturity and readiness for a healthy and fulfilling partnership. If you need a man to complete you, you don't need a man because a man can't complete you. If you need a man to make you feel happy, you don't need a man because a man can't make you happy. Ecclesiastes says 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward or good return for their labor. They're both working. But 2 signifies what? One whole, coming together, better than 1 because they have a great return on their work or their labor together. Dr. Alexandra Solomon, a psychologist, says this: approaching love as an opportunity for growth, connection, and shared experiences fosters a healthy and fulfilling partnership. If you think a relationship is going to complete you, if you're not complete now as a single woman, you don't need a relationship. No. You need some more time to yourself. You need to heal. You need to grow. You need to evolve. You need to strengthen and develop. And so there you have it. There you have it. Those are what I think 7 signs that you're ready to attempt to make another attempt at love or loving someone else again. Now, my prayer for you today is that the Spirit of God will heal every broken place in your heart. I know some of you have been disappointed, broken even by toxic relationships, but I'm here to tell you that the Spirit of God will bring healing to all of those broken areas. And now my prayer for you is that the Spirit of God will breathe upon you afresh, wrap his arms around you, and give you a sense of peace, comfort, and wholeness like you've never experienced before. Now, today, I want you to make certain that you go by my website, rcblakes.com, sign up for my mailing list, check out all of the online programs that are there, remembering that we've recently uploaded Mordecai Mission, 12 sessions where I'm mentoring women. Usually this is done by way of Zoom. It's a 3-month process, but Spirit of God told me to put the content up as an online program for those that want to just access the content. Mordecai Mission is founded on 3 pillars: inner healing, self-discovery, self-development. If you go to my website, rcblakes.com, you'll see it there. And if you desire to make that investment in yourself, please feel free to do so. Check out all of my books at Amazon. And also don't forget to look in the description and you'll find the link for BetterHelp counseling. If you need counseling of any kind, look in the link and you'll find the link for look in the description, you'll find the link for BetterHelp counseling. If you use that link, it will afford you 10% off the cost of their counseling, and they in turn will make a deposit into R.C. Blake's Ministries because I recommended them to you. Now, I want to thank all of you that have sown into our lives. Lisa and I love you so much. Please do not leave out of here without liking this video. Last week, you all pushed that message over the top. Oh, we haven't had it like that in I don't know how long. I appreciate you last week for just doing an amazing job of coming in, inviting others, and liking and sharing and commenting. It helps the message to trend. And today, this message needs to trend in this culture. So I need you to make certain that you like and share this video today. What am I missing? What am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anything other than I love you with all of my heart. I love you with all of my heart. Get ready because very soon we're going to officially open the door for registration for Queenology 2024 happening in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm telling you now, the seats are not going to last. When I tell you registration is open, you probably need to go and register at that time because it's not going to last. Team setting up payment plans and all of that kind of thing, but it's not going to last. I'm excited to bring Queenology back to Atlanta. I think the last time we were in Atlanta was 2019, and we're coming back to Atlanta in 2024. I love you all. I thank God for you. You're on top. You're going higher. God has more in store for you. So we will see you at the top. But before you leave, make certain that you like this video. I'm R.C. Blake saying to you, I love you. God bless you. Until next time.
We here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. R.C. and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by R.C. Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by R.C. You may find all books written by R.C. and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.